Welcome. Are you ready to win your writing game in 2020? I would love to help. Okay, first thing, what does winning your writing game look like? Well, it looks like this. A book readers can buy and read. How do you get to this place from the blank page? You need to write and finish, emphasis on finish, your book. I know, it seems like I just said an extremely duh statement, doesn't it? Doesn't it sound really duh? But it's not. Trust me, I've talked to lots of writers. When I first decided to be a fiction writer, I thought writing a book looked like taking lots of university courses, reading every book and magazine I could find about writing, how to write, history of writing, backstory. I learned so much about other people's writing. I could write a book. And I did learn a little about my own in my writing courses by writing short stories. But the focus everywhere I was looking was on technique. How do you make your character jump off the page? How do you create a plot that's compelling? How do you surprise your readers? The assumption in my courses is that these were our training wheel stories, not anything that was going to eventually get published. But my goal was to see real books I had written on bookstore shelves. Isn't that what you want? You don't want a bunch of exercises in a notebook that no one's ever going to see except you. So I'm going to give you a little side note. Wanting to see your books on a bookstore bookshelf is a little bit old fashioned because nowadays the book world is happening online and on your phone. I'm on your phone maybe right now. You can thank Amazon for that. And I do every time they put money in my bank account monthly. So imagine it. You with something like this, a complete book that you drafted, that you finished, that you edited, that you published, that's in your hands, that you can show people. Do you want that? I can get you there. I can get you to your book finished and ready to launch any way you want it. If you're ready, I can get you there in 10 weeks. I know, I know. You're like, no, you can't, but I can. The question is, what does ready look like and are you ready? So ready looks like you and I sit down and create your writing game. The game starts wherever you are with your book. A few ideas, a really compelling story you can see completely in your head, a messy half draft that you're stuck and don't know where to go with. Wherever you are, that's where we start to create your game. Of course, the finish line is to type the end and have a complete book out of your head and onto the page. I've done it many times, many times, and I hope to do it many more. But you and I will create a path to the finish line for you to follow over 10 weeks. It will involve writing to a schedule. No matter how much you hate it, I'll make it fun. I will. But even better, it will involve you zigzagging your way around every obstacle in your path with my expert guidance to make obstacles go poof and disappear so you can write what you want, when you want, and how you want. Doesn't that sound amazing? I think so. I would have loved it back when I was thinking that I needed to take university courses and read a lot about writing instead of actually get the writing done with someone who would lead me to a published book writing. Okay, here's what it looks like. So your spouse, your significant other, your parent, doesn't understand why you need so much time with your laptop. Poof, poof. I give you the exact script you need to get that person on your side. If that doesn't work, because sometimes I'll tell you it doesn't work, poof, you get the exact step you need to take to find your private writing space where they can't get to you and bother you. There's a reason why some folks like to take very long baths in a locked bathroom. I'm just saying, but that wasn't me. That was not one of my solutions. I do know other authors who use that solution. Just saying. But I know lots of ways to get around interrupting folks. So you'll have me at every moment of self-doubt. I will be there when you wonder if what you just wrote makes any sense at all. I wonder that a lot. It is really reassuring to be able to throw some paragraphs to somebody and say, does this make sense? And to get them to go, yes, it's wonderful. Or, no, you need to do this. I'll be there when you think no one in the world wants to read your book, because I won't agree with you. I'll tell you right now. I'll be there when you want to find a plot twist that hasn't been done to cliche by other writers. That's one of my favorite things. We'll jump on a brainstorming session. And I will be there when your life intrudes on your writing time. How rude, but inevitable. 10 weeks is both long and short, and you will have lots of interruptions. And I'll be there by your side for 10 straight weeks, getting you to finish the book, not letting you have any excuses, and helping when you can't see your way out, pointing the way. I know you're thinking, but what if I don't finish my book in 10 weeks, Kelly? What are you going to do then? Hope you don't say it like that. I'm trying to wake you up. So here's my promise, and it's only for this inaugural one-to-one coaching program. So if this sounds good to you, just go ahead and apply now. There's no fee to apply. You're going to talk to me and really figure out if this fits, and I'm not going to give you a hard sales tactic because I'm only taking 10 people, and I want 10 people who will do it. But my promise is I'll stay with you until you finish your book, even after Win Your Writing Game, Finish Your Book is finished. I will. I know that's a big promise, but there is a catch. You have to do something first. But before I tell you that, I'll tell you this. The open secret about me that everyone who's worked with me, who's a writer, is I want to see everyone who's writing a book finish that book. Some of my biggest disappointments in teaching writing, and in my previous online writing course, Finish Your Book in 8 Weeks, which was through email, and I'm never doing that again. My biggest disappointment was that many of my students gave up. Because here's the thing, writing is hard. The world around you doesn't care about your book. They don't. You know when that changes? When the people around you care about your book? I know. It's when you have your book written and it's real. And you can give it to someone to read. And you can sell it to a publisher or self-publish it. That's when people around you start to care. And that's what you're aiming for. So to get you there, I've got some extra special bonuses for this inaugural one-to-one coaching program. Win Your Writing Game, Finish Your Book in 10 weeks isn't your typical writer writing coach program. But you can't know that. I know you can't. Would I have believed me if I was doing it? I don't know. I know for sure that if I could go back and make myself take this, I would. So I'm adding in 4 special bonuses to give you an opportunity to really feel like you're going to win with this. You can read more about each one below on this video, but the first one is when you finish your book, I will give you a detailed step-by-step guide to getting it published, whether you want to publish traditionally or whether you want to self-publish. I've done both. And I'll warn you, I'll give you some hard advice about your book and what I think you should do, but it will be based on your book. I know both processes very well, and I can step them out for you and stop you from making some of the bigger mistakes. Second bonus, I will give you an inside look at my campaign to get one of my books on the USA Today bestseller list. Even if you don't care about being a bestseller, I never did. The inside look deals with overcoming your own personal self-doubt about confidently marketing your book to readers. I can't tell you, I embarrassed my own daughter one time at her graduation when a friend of hers came up and was so complimentary about my books, and I was so embarrassed and did not know how to respond in that context. Ugh, I can give you a script so you can. And I tell you, traditional publishers and agents ask about your marketing plan very early on in the process now, which seems a little bit ahead of the game, but it's so important, and you will have what you need to deal with that if you want to go with traditional publishers. Third, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide for finding and working with an editor to help you make the book the best it can be. The right editor can push your book from good to great. The wrong editor, okay, well, trust me, the wrong editor can make you want to work at Starbucks, and I'm not going to tell you how I know that, but I'll tell you, I do know that. So finding the right editor for your book matters. And I know a lot of editors. I could do some matchmaking, but I can also give you some pointers on what to look for and how to make the process work for you. Fourth, and this is the biggie, I promise to keep helping you wend your way to the finish line for as long as it takes. I already told you about this one, but here's what it looks like. I will jump on the phone with you once a month. I will offer email support for every question and obstacle that gets in your way so that you can get your book finished. But there's a catch. You need to do the work for the 10 weeks of the course in order to get that ongoing support. So if you're thinking, oh, I could take this course and then, write my book next year. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you and I down and dirty for 10 weeks, and you don't get the book finished for, really good reasons. There are really good reasons that happen. You have to write. You have to make every coaching call. You have to call me for help the moment you need it. No delaying, because that's my Achilles heel. I always try and solve everything myself. I don't want you doing that. I want you throwing it out to me to solve it. It'll make it much faster and much easier. So what do you say? Are you interested? I'm only taking 10 students, so if you are interested, apply now and let's talk about it. This might not be the right program for you, and I'm not going to hard sell you. I want to know what you think about it, what appeals to you. Let me know, and happy writing.